Hello everybody and welcome to my November reading wrap-up. So I read 10 books this month, which I think is a pretty good, amount of books, especially for a holiday month. Holiday months are always hard for everyone, me especially. So 10 books in November, I'm very happy with. As always with these videos, I'm going to talk about all the books I read in order of my least favorite working up to my favorite. And I have reviews on a lot of these. I think like maybe all of them except for 2 or 3. I have big recent reads videos where I delve into them more, so I will link those down below. If I don't go into detail about it in here, rest assured in those videos I go into detail about it more. So I'm already sick of talking. Let's get into it. So my least favorite book this month, sadly, is Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. I gave it a 3 out of 5, so it's not like it's the desolate, bleakest of all, but just I didn't love it. It's her first foray into like contemporary fiction, and it was just okay. That's all I'll say. It's about a girl named Prudence who is basically teamed up with this guy named Quint, and they have to do this science project together, and they get a bad grade, and so they decide to work at like this rehabilitation center for like sea animals and seals and things like that. And Prudence is very type A, very organized and structured, and Quint is not, so they obviously butt heads a lot. It's like a hate to love romance. Also, a little small plot point in this is that Prudence hits her head and is able to like enact karma on anybody. It's a very odd plot of it. Like, I don't think it needed to be in there. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was okay. It just wasn't really memorable. I don't know. I didn't like Prudence, the character, really at all. So, moving on. I got a lot of 3 stars, so bear with me. Breathless by Jennifer Niven. This is about a character named Claude, who her life's going really great, and then her parents tell her that they are divorcing, and it kind of really wrecks her world. So her and her mom go to this really small island off of Georgia, and they're very remote. They don't know like anybody there, and she meets this guy and has a relationship with them, and it's all about kind of sexuality as well with this, of just learning about it and things like that. And it was good. I liked it. It's very kind of hard-hitting but also romancy, and it did make me tear up at the end, so I did enjoy it. I think I just don't love Jennifer Niven's writing a ton, but I did enjoy this one. It's a great summer read. Like, I would save this for summer, honestly, but I liked it. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 to me is like a solid read. I might consider bumping this down to 2. I'm just not quite sure yet. I don't know. Moving on to another 3-star ebook is The Boy Toy by Nicola Marsh. This one is an adult kind of romance book, and I like this one, but yet again, I didn't like it. I will tell you, I know this will be spoiling it a little bit, but I think a lot of people like to know this particular like trope before going into a book. It does have like a surprise pregnancy into it, and I enjoyed that. I just, I like to be forewarned myself when I go into those books. But basically, it's about this woman who moves back to Australia, and she meets this really much younger guy, and she starts the relationship with him, hence called The Boy Toy. And it's about her dealing with that, like being in this relationship. She also was very strained because her previous husband was very, very hard, and he cheated on her and things like that. She's also Indian as well, and her mom really wants her to find a good Indian guy, and it's kind of all about that. She meets this guy that's younger, and they have a fling, and things develop into more, and it's cute. I'm not gonna lie, it's cute. I didn't love it a ton as much as I wanted to. So I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was solid. I just kind of wanted more from it, and maybe not the surprise pregnancy trope. Next up, we have Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch. This is her, I don't know if it's her last book in her like Love and series. She has Love and Gelato. It's about a girl that travels to Italy. Then in Love and Luck, she has a girl that travels to Ireland. And this one, the girl travels to Greece. So we have a character named Olive who has a very strained relationship with her dad. Her dad is Greek, and he is also an Atlantis hunter. He really believes in Atlantis and believes it is a lost city. And so basically her and her dad had this great relationship with trying to find Atlantis. And then one day when she's like 9, he just leaves, and she doesn't see him again until she's 17, and she's invited back to Greece to see her dad, and he's filming this documentary of finding Atlantis. And it's basically the heart of this book is a father and daughter strained relationship, and I enjoyed it for that. I think that's my favorite element of this book. It does have a really small romance in it, which was also cute, and this might be my favorite in her series. I just really loved the relationship with her and her dad, of how they didn't really talk, and how they didn't know the truth about either one of them, and how they talked about it more. And at the end, they talked more about mental illness, and I wish they talked about it a little bit more. So I guess technically, if we're doing half stars, which probably whatever, I would give this like a 3.5. I really found it cute and adorable. And again, a great summer read. Like, this was supposed to come out in summer, so I wish it did. We have Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett. This is her like 4th YA contemporary book, and I just really enjoy them. This is about a girl named Josie, who her and her mom have always like moved around a lot, and so now she's about to be in her senior year of high school. And the summer before, her and her mom moved back to like their hometown called Beauty in New England, and it's very small, and they basically moved back so that their grandmother can go on a trip and they can take care of the bookstore. And when they move back, Josie, you know, reunites with her best friend Lucky, who they were best friends when they were like 12, and it's been like 5 years since she's seen him, and so things kind of ensue from there. And that's basically the whole plot of it, the romance with Lucky, as well as a lot of strained family relationships. And it was cute. It's not my favorite Jen Bennett book. My favorite will always be Alex Approximately. I just love that one. But I mean, if you're looking for a cute small town romance, this is a good one for that. Oh, I would probably give it like, I guess 3.5 too. I don't even know. I'm horrible with reviews today. The next one, I read a lot of YA this month, if you can't tell. Like, I don't know why. I just went with it. That's what I did. A fun one is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This was a cover buy for me last month, and I really had a lot of fun with it. I gave it a 3.5. It's fun. Is it really memorable and like really plot driven, character driven? No, it's just a fun read, and sometimes you just need those. So this is about a girl named Avery who doesn't have a lot of money. Her mom has passed away. Her dad is not really in her life. And basically one day she learns that she's inherited a ton of money from this eccentric billionaire from Texas. And she does not know who he is. Like, nothing at all. The catch is she has to live in his mansion for like a year in Texas. And she has to live with all of his grandsons, who are very peeved that they didn't get a lot of the inheritance money and things like that. And what goes on is kind of like a quest of puzzles of why she got this money from a complete stranger. And it's like Knives Out kind of, you know, where it's got that murder mystery element of unlocking puzzles and things. It was fun. It's gonna be a series. I will read the sequels. 3.5. If you just want like a fun mystery, really big mansion with a lot of different things in it, I would check this out. And the last ebook I read for this month is Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella. She's an adult chick lit author. I've read literally all of her books. This is like her 10th or 11th, something like that. No, probably like maybe more, because she has a whole series. This is about, I forget the characters' names because I did not research before I did this video. I'm sorry. So it's about a woman that she really wants to be a writer. And so she goes on this writing retreat, and basically it's like in this really old like monastery, and another group has to join theirs because their like retreat got messed up. It was like a martial arts group. And so there she meets this guy, and as part of like the writing thing, you're not supposed to use your real name because you don't want to know details about the other person. You just want to focus on your writing. So they all have fake names. She falls in love with this guy that they don't know the real names of each other, and they decide after this retreat, you know, hey, let's make this a real thing. Let's do this. Let's make this a real relationship. So they both go back home to London, and they basically learn a lot about each other, how they are very, very different. I think the guy's name is Matt. Maybe, I'm not sure. And they learn that, like I said, they're night and day. And so they really try to do this relationship. And I actually really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a solid Sophie Kinsella book. And I loved how it just really delved into, like, do opposites attract? Can you be with a person that's really unlike you? You know, and things like that. Or can you be with a person without knowing anything about them? So I enjoyed it. I definitely need to buy a physical copy of it. And another 4 stars is Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. This is the graphic novel. He has a whole novel written in verse that he released a few years ago that I still need to read. This is about a character named Will who lives in a really rough part of town, and he's seen a lot of deaths in his life. And this whole book begins with his brother being shot and killed. And Will has known the rules for as long as he's lived because his brother taught him, his father's passed it on, uncle, things like that. And it's like, and it's don't cry, don't snitch, and get revenge. So Will decides to go get revenge on the person he thinks murdered his brother. So he goes to this guy's apartment building, gets in the elevator, and a weird thing starts happening when the elevator goes down, and each floor, somebody from Will's past past that has passed away gets into the elevator, such as like his uncle, his father, his friends, and they just talk a lot about gun violence and the rules and things like that. And it's a very emotional, hard-hitting book that was just stunning. I love the artwork in it. It's so simplistic yet tells so much. And it's a book that's a hard-hitting book. It's about gun violence. It's about will be the last person that is the line going to stop here with the gun violence, and it will really resonate with you. I definitely plan to buy a copy of the actual book and read it, but I really enjoyed it. A 4 out of 5, highly recommend, even if you've already read the book in verse. The graphic novel is stunning. The artwork is right there. It's amazing. And my 2 favorite books this month got like a 4, 4.5, I don't know. Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chow, I gave a 4 out of 5. This was such a ooey gooey romance. I enjoyed it. It's about this character named Chloe who has these Asian American parents, and she goes home for the holidays starting Thanksgiving. This book starts in Thanksgiving. It ends, I believe, in Valentine's Day. And she goes on the site called Rent for Your Rents, where she hires a fake boyfriend to kind of appease her parents. And she does this because her parents really want her to enter this relationship with another guy that he's horrible. And so she hires Drew, the fake boyfriend, to kind of combat that. And so it's all about that. When she goes home and her trying to really appease her parents, but also really be herself. This whole book is walking that fine line of being yourself, but also loving and respecting and honoring your parents. And it's just a beautifully told book. The romance is super cute. I love the family aspect of it. I loved learning more about the Asian American culture. It was just adorable. 4 out of 5. If you want a really cute book to read, this is like a great one to read near Valentine's Day, honestly. I mean, the cover is pink. It's super cute. I loved it. And my favorite book of the month is, surprisingly, A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I didn't think this was going to be my favorite of the month after I read it, but the more I thought about it, the more I just loved it. I still would not give it a 5 out of 5, honestly. I would give it like a 4.5, I guess you could say. This is all about a character named Galadriel who goes to this school called the Scholomance. It's like a magic school. And it's a really hard school. Like, to graduate, you just gotta live to graduation. That's how hard the school is, because monsters are always lurking in the dorms. You can get killed every second. Like, people, like, you could start off with a class of 700 and by the end of the school year be down to like 200 because they just die. That's how bad the school is. And so at the beginning of the book, this guy named Orion saves her from this monster, and she kind of can't stand him because he is he's like the class golden boy. He saves everybody from everything, and they have like this hate to love relationship, friendship. And it's all about like learning about magic and things like that, specifically of how she did it in this book. And I can't give it a 5 out of 5 because it is far too info dumpy. Like, goodness me. Like, she would say one thing about something and then go on 5 pages about it. And it does lay a lot of groundwork, as first books usually do, but like, I was like, whoa, this is a lot. But I really enjoyed it. Elle is very sarcastic and snarky. It's like seeing the point of view from somebody that's like not Harry Potter, because Orion's like Harry Potter. He's the good guy, saves the day all the time, and Elle's like freaking sick of him. And it's just funny to read about their banter. And also the school is just so harsh. Like, I would never survive a day in this school, but I had fun with it. This is an adult book, I believe, after I thought it was a YA, but I definitely plan to continue the series. It's a fun book. It's very, dark and twisty and stuff, but I had an amazing time reading it, despite all of the info dumps. So there you have it. Those are the 10 books I read this month. Overall, a really good reading month. No like 5-star favorites for me, but that can't be every month for you. So I would love to hear if you've read any of these books. Please let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.